Okay, so let's talk about, obviously continue talking about OnPassive 360 from Wednesday, and I've headed today's live called Support. Why have I done that? Because of the really outpouring, I think is a pretty good word, of support that I have certainly seen for our CEO Ash Mufareh with the news that he brought to us on 360. Now, I'm not advocating by any means that everyone is going to be happy with what he said, mainly because there's an awful lot of people who were expecting other news rather than the news that we had, that he is taking the helm once again and he is going to be making the decisions of the company rather than other people, because quite frankly, he's not happy with either the speed that they are going or even the direction that some people are going in as far as OnPassive is concerned. He did say that they are deviating away from his dream, and he wanted to make the decision to take it all back into his hands once again. It's caught quite a lot of people off guard. Why? Because they were expecting to hear about payments and commissions. One thing I will reiterate is that nothing has changed. We are still exactly where we were. We are waiting on information as far as the money coming back into the accounts. And as far as I know, that is all still intact. As soon as the money is back into the OnPassive accounts, then it will start being distributed to those that have actioned a withdrawal to their accounts. Plain and simple. And we, yes, Diamond Mummy, I was on it. It was a bit hectic, wasn't it? Luckily, I seem to have a nicer crowd on here. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's my charm, wit, and charisma. Who knows? Anyway, I try and bring beauty in the background, and the beauty in the background, of course. I do try my hardest not to be conflicted. I try and bring information, and that's what I want to do. But one thing I did want to do today is certainly relay my seeings of what I've seen on social media as far as support for Ash Mufareh in what he's doing. Listen, I understand not everyone's going to get it. I understand that it's probably not what everybody wanted to hear, but I keep reiterating the same things as far as business is concerned, is that, do you know something? Sometimes things are taken out of your hands that you maybe have regretted saying because you were given indications that this was going to happen and it didn't happen and all the rest of it. I really do get the feeling that we have a CEO who is a really genuine person. You know, he is, in fact, almost too giving and too open. And this sometimes, I think, gets him into a little bit of bother because he is very open with what is coming or what he's seeing, and he sort of lets us know. And when things don't happen within the timelines that he might have given us an idea about, then obviously people start getting anxious, frustrated, whatever you may think. But I know one thing is going back on what I said yesterday, whatever it takes, I know that he is going to be doing whatever it takes to fulfill his dream of what he's trying to achieve with OnPassive. In return, what does that mean for us? It means that everything that he's promised as far as the monetary side of things and the products and the services and how it's all going to work is going to happen. And this is why I wanted to talk to you today about support, because there really has been a overwhelming outpouring of support for our CEO. And I think this is really important, to be honest, is that companies in this startup period where we are right at this moment, before we are big and all the rest of it, certainly need the backing of its users. And let's make no mistake about it. Yes, we may be early bird founders. Yes, we might be affiliates, but overall, we are users of the company and what we have purchased so far, whether it be free products and services or whether it's something we have bought from OnPassive. And at this early stage, you need to have that support of your users to be able to keep on going and moving forward and all the rest of it. Now, I did reach out to Janet Butler to ask her if it's okay for me to read out something she'd written yesterday. She hasn't come back to me, so I'm taking a bit of a gamble and a guess that she's okay. I don't think she'll mind. But Janet Butler, who we know is one of the quartet of the guys who do the reviews after we've seen our CEO. There is a reason, by the way, that there was no review after 360, mainly because it was, in my opinion, and probably theirs as well, it was really important that you listen to say. It really wasn't for somebody else to say it. But anyway, this is what Janet had written yesterday, and I wanted to read it to you guys because I thought it was so good. Here we go then. Excuse me if I don't sound like Janet, but there you go. Yesterday, we had an interaction with Ash that left me with a distinct impression. While I don't feel let down in any way, it seemed clear to me that Ash wished they were further along in the process than their current status. Despite this, Ash displayed an admirable level of transparency regarding his troubles they have gone through. And in my experience, such candor often arises when two key elements are present. First, the individual senses that others have faith in their abilities and character. And second, they possess a genuine commitment to uphold their word and meet expectations. Evidently, Ash felt safe enough to be open about the gap between his desired progress and their actual progress. Likely because he knew we maintained belief in him and he values living up to his own standard. Such honesty frequently stems from a positive place of mutual respect. I feel humbled by the relationship we have with Ash Mufareh. She then goes on to say, I noticed we didn't hear what we wanted to hear, and we didn't hear what was said at first. For many of us, it took re-listening the recording many times to grasp what was said. That's my personal opinion. Regardless, we love and respect our CEO and are privileged to be trusted by him to share everything with us. Now, I wanted to read that out because I really do feel that that mirrors very much of what we are all thinking, that for a CEO of any company to come out and say the things that he has said and feel comfortable in our presence and live to be able to do that, it takes a lot of courage. It takes almost a huge gamble, really, at the end of the day, because could you imagine the scenario that if all of this support that he is now getting was the other way, was negative, not a positive thing, then where would the company be? What would be the reaction of the company if that had happened? So it really was a very courageous thing to be able to do. But it also showed how much he knows us, the user. He was in a place that he thought, I think they're going to understand. I think the users who matter are going to understand what I am trying to say here and why I am saying it, regardless of what they wanted to hear, regardless of stuff that might have happened and places that I think we should have been. That's not materialized. But what I have done is started the process. I have put things in place. And this is why I go back to saying, you are going to be, when he said, you are going to be amazed at what I have done, not what I am going to do, what I'm going to start doing, what he has done. And that was very much past tense. So obviously everything is in place and being put in place. And then we're going to move from here. I am certain that we will get information. I'm certain that the company is safe. I'm certain that everything that we have been promised is going to come to fruition. It is up to us individually to decide if you believe or you don't believe, I suppose, at the end of the day. I've had faith in this company since the day I joined, because I got the vision of what we are trying to achieve. And I really do believe that the support stems from that through so many of you is because of your, call it faith, call it belief, call it ideas, or even call it that you want to see this through to the end. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being open and honest about saying, I don't believe necessarily what he's saying, but I want to see this through. You know, somebody posted a really good post yesterday and said, Ashmi Farah has a plan B. That plan is to make plan A work. And I love that. That is exactly what his plan is. There is no plan B. He wants to make his plan work. And this, I think, for a lot of people, whether you believe Ashmi Farah or not, I think many of us actually want to see this through. How many times do a lot of us start something, doesn't quite go how we want it to go, and we kind of get sidetracked and move off into somewhere else, or stop completely, or get distracted, or whatever it may be. And we don't actually see it through to fruition. I think because so many people have been on this journey, because they can see things changing for them in the future because of OnPassive, that they really are determined to see it through to the end. And that, I think, there's nothing wrong with that either. You know, if somebody's saying, I'm only staying here because I want the money at the end of it, that's a good enough reason for me. You don't have to necessarily believe 100% in the company. But if you have put your time and effort into a business because you believe, or you've been told that if I do all these things and then there's a good chance you'll be doing this and all the rest of it, why wouldn't you want to stay around to get to that end? Makes sense to me. Myself personally, I'm more of you know, I got the vision. You know, I can see what we are trying to achieve here. We are breaking that mold and reinventing how things are done online. That I love that part of it, because I've been involved with other businesses before online, and I really understand how depressing a lot of it really is. And that is because you can't really be, was it VO's? That was his post. There you go. Fantastic, mate. You can't actually be really in the heart of your hearts open and honest about what you are trying to do, because there's always something in the back of your head that's going, I hope this is right. You know, I hope this is legal, above board, legitimate. It's going to do what it says it's going to do, and it's not going to be gone tomorrow when I have done my best to encourage people to join it and all the rest of it. You know, there's always that niggle in the back of your mind. I've been there and I've done that. With OnPassive, I've never, ever had that part of it for me. Why? Because I trust this guy called Ashmi Farah. And yes, time is a funny thing, isn't it? You know, I know people are going to say, yeah, but Ash has missed so many time targets. And a lot of that is to do with the information that he's being given. People saying, yes, it's going to be ready for this time and we can have it by then. And really, at the end of the day, they're just telling him what he wants to hear, not what is going to happen. And this also is part and parcel why I certainly believe that he has decided enough is enough. I cannot let people down. I need to take charge once again and drive this forward in the direction that I want it to go, with how I want it to be. Thomas Davis, thank you so much, my friend, for your super sticker. By the way, you don't have to give one. Talking of all of that, by the way, I emailed YouTube about the button I'm meant to have, and I haven't heard back from them yet. So as soon as it all gets organized, I will be, and continue to be, I will be giving 5 free memberships a month. Okay, so I haven't forgotten. I've tried my best and I'm just waiting. Okay, I thought I'd just let you know, be upfront and be honest. So anyway, going back to support, I've been absolutely blown away by the amount of support. And in fact, I took a couple of screenshots of various posts with an awful lot of likes and shares and stuff. And I wrote an email to Ash Mufareh just to tell him, because he's not on social media, that this is happening on social media. And you really have got, I wouldn't say the full backing, because there is going to be people who aren't happy with what he has said, but certainly the vast majority of solidarity for what you have said. There is an outpouring of respect for you, and it is, I just thought you'd like to know. So I sent him an email this morning, I think, for that. Haven't had a reply, by the way, but I thought he would like to know. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Obviously, like I said, just waiting on OCONNECT. I'm just going to give it a quick refresh here whilst we're on the line, see if it's come up yet. It is at 0 at the moment, and we are expecting a there you go. Whilst we're on live, 10 days have been added. Okay, to your OCONNECT. So 10 days added to OCONNECT. OCONNECT. Obviously, they were looking in and thought better update it whilst Red's on, so we can give it all you the live news. There you go. So that's been updated. We've got 10 days added to your OCONNECT. Okay, guys. Anyway, guys, that's it from me.